Welcome back to Out and About Today. I'm Brent Meredith, and we're continuing our Buzz About with Chuck and special guest Marissa Richmond. We're back, guys. We could just sit here all day, right? I know, but I want to move on to our next topic. So this was interesting to me. New York City lawmaker endorses plan to break HIV prevention drugs patent. So essentially, they're talking about Truvada or PrEP, and it says Corey Johnson, Speaker of the New York City Council, he wants the NIH, the National Institute of Health, to sort of use their march-in rights and break the patent, and cites the price difference being across the world where Truvada is generic, you can get a month's supply for roughly $25. Whereas in the United States, it's $20,000 a year or $1,700 a month. So, I mean, there's implications for our community, but there's also just like health implications for the world. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts? Is this something that we should really be up in our, like, this needs to be generic? We need to have access.
Well, I think that's across the board, not just that one drug.
Well,
I have a diabetes medicine that's over $400 a month.
Yeah.
And so, and I have insurance, and I can't imagine what it would be for a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people in our community who don't have insurance.
Exactly.
And so there's so many health issues that affect our community, related to HIV, related to stress, depression, and the pharmaceutical industry is just tearing us apart because of this. These patents can last up to 14 years before we can even get generic options on the market for a lot of these drugs. And I applaud him for stepping up.
Yeah.
But of course, this is a federal problem.
Yeah.
It's going to affect us across all states, and I hope Congress will step up and say it's time that we need to do something to make these drugs affordable, that we fix our healthcare system, that we fix the drug industry.
100% agreed. And I think the first hearing this year, the House Oversight Committee, was on prescription drug costs, and like it's finally getting a little bit more of attention than it did before. But this specific example, again, is geared toward our community, but it's also like if this is the one drug that can severely reduce your risk of infection for something that, it just blows my mind that they don't even want to work with it.
And this is literally life-saving.
Literally life-saving, yeah. I mean, as one could argue for any drug, your insulin, anything is life-saving, but this, you know, for $25 a month versus $1,700 a month, I mean, there's got to be a middle ground in there somewhere, if nothing else.
Well, and I think, you know, right now, the main thing that we can do is we keep this in the headlines.
Yes.
I mean, and it's great when, the public knowledge, that's what you have to do, because otherwise it just gets buried. People don't talk about it. They don't know. They're not aware.
Yeah, I happened upon this just in a tweet, went through, read the article, but since I've seen this particular, I haven't seen or heard anything else. That's part of the reasons I wanted to bring it up. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about locally, so I want to move to that because here we are again with the slate of hate. That I know, right? Can we just take a deep breath? And in fact, we've got a little screenshot there. So this is on Tennessee Equality Project's website. They have a listing of all of these. So I figured if somebody wanted to go and check that out there, we're going to talk about some of them here. But that's what the site or the page looks like. And Marissa, our resident expert on this, and Chuck and I will weigh in with our opinions. But I wanted to get your thoughts. So if we could go down the list rather quickly, we've got a couple of bills on adoption. What's going on with that now? I mean, are we back again with the same?
Well, we've had that issue come up years ago.
Yeah.
We stopped it, but now they're coming back. Unfortunately, federal court rulings have allowed these bans to exist from other states. So now they're coming after us again based on this myth, this stereotype that we're bad families, we're bad parents. And even though there's absolutely no evidence to support that, and all evidence says that when you have loving parents, regardless of sexual orientation, the children will thrive and will benefit.
Yeah.
But again, this is simply hate.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I mean, excluding someone who is a potential loving parent for a child, you know, that they also want to protect from, you know.
And we've seen estimates in the past that there would be thousands and thousands of dollars cost to state taxpayers for those because children would be denied access to a loving family. The state would end up having to take them because there are a lot of families that aren't good enough for them.
Right. Well, and I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
Oh, no, well, I was just saying, once again, we find our lawmakers basically pandering to their base, and this is what happens over and over and over. And the redder Tennessee gets, the more alarming this becomes, and this is what they keep doing.
And they know that it takes our energy to discuss, to fight, to do these sort of things that come up year after year. So it's like if they can keep us busy fighting this, then we don't have time to come up with our own agenda, if you will. Well, anyway, we've only got about a couple minutes, and I want to hit on a couple others. So the business license to discriminate bill that passed subcommittee, and then you and I were talking, Marissa. I think as we're taping, it's coming up soon, but by the time this airs, there will have already been a couple of other bills that are going for a committee vote. Business license to discriminate bill, same iteration as last year, it seems to me, right? No,
yes.
And then we've also got the so this is the SB 1297, HB 1151 by Senator Podium, Representative Reagan. On its face, this bill seems to be about indecent exposure, but is it a way of criminalizing trans and non-binary people in restrooms and locker rooms? So we're back to the trans bathroom thing again.
Right.
And then we've also got, this bill is similar to last year, would require the Attorney General to defend school districts that engage in anti-transgender bathroom discrimination.
Well, the second one was stopped last year, and a lot of these bills have been stopped because of the fiscal note, the potential costs of Tennessee, because we saw the impact on North Carolina when they passed their hateful bill, HB 2, a few years ago. So I have not seen a fiscal note yet for these bills, but we're hoping that they would be sobered by the cost. It's unfortunate that they don't care about the humanitarian impact, the idea that you're criminalizing people for taking care of a basic biological function. But I mean, this is stupid, it's outrageous, it's hateful. I testified against the first version of the bathroom bill because I would have been the enforcer at work, because my office is right across the hall from the bathroom. And I'm not exactly what they had in mind for the bathroom police, but I said, I'm going to stop everybody. And that's not what they had in mind.
Of course not. Well, we've got 1 minute left, and I saved the best for last, if you will. So here we are with the Tennessee Natural Marriage Defense Act is back again. We've got about 40 seconds. Each of you go real quick. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts are. Obviously, it's unconstitutional. It's going to cost a lot of money. What else can we say that we already know?
Right. I'll let Marissa have the last word on that.
The Supreme Court said that Tennessee's prior ban passed our state law in '96, our constitutional amendment in '06 was unconstitutional. They've already ruled on Tennessee.
Already ruled on it.
And again, it's just a waste of time, a waste of effort.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna get us out of here because it's a lot of wasted. We don't want to waste any of your y'all's time. So when we come back, Chuck has got Nashville theater and arts writer Amy Stumpful right here on Out and About Today. Stay with us.